They're shaking out retail right now. 67 million of inflows into BSOL yesterday. ETF investors bought the dip. This is Hunter, CEO of Bitwise. In terms of Bitcoin, we said Bitcoin ETFs would grow via 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and right now it's back step time. You can see this pattern in IBIT's flows. If anything, we do a few steps back given all the steps forward. Part of the process, in my opinion. Only a small child would expect green all day, every day. I'm going to dig into this ETF stuff that is going on right now as it relates to retail being shaken out. But speaking of Solana in this video, I also want to look at the Solana daily chart because I found an interesting piece of data on the daily chart that could give us a little bit of a hint on the shorter term of where altcoins might bottom. And I also want to take a glance at the total crypto market cap chart. The higher high, higher low trend continues. How much lower will we go? Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence systems, get back there right now, everybody. We have the free trial going on. Explore our risk models. This is data-based risk analysis. This isn't emotion-based. Get back there, use our exit planner, start strategizing for this cycle. We have the free trial. Click the link below, get set up. I want to go back here real quick to Eric's posts, and then we're going to kind of get into the charts. So he posted this, only a small child would expect green all day, every day. We can't realistically expect it's just going to be green all day, every day. We can't realistically expect, if you want a parabolic bull run, that it's going to happen on your time frame. Likely it's actually not going to. But I saw this post, a comment on his post. I treat red days like gym soreness. If it's not hurting a bit, I'm not getting stronger. And Eric said, this is the right attitude. This is how deep value investors think, except they have pain like 90% of the time. And I don't know if you're a value investor. I know many of you probably are. But as you're watching this video, you might kind of feel the same way as I do. It really does seem like 90% of the time, it is tough. If you go to the crypto total market cap chart, this is everything. Bitcoin, altcoins, everything. We've been in this higher high, higher low move this entire time. But these months of consolidations that we've been seeing are brand new to a crypto cycle. And it's very much illustrated on our Bitcoin risk model right here and others. But you can just see months of consolidation just all the way back down into like more just neutral risk territories. And then a little pump and then months of consolidation, little pump, and we're in months of consolidation again. For a value investor that's not trading, you're just not sitting around trading all day, and that's not your agenda, it does get kind of tough. And it does seem like 90% of the time it's rough, especially with sentiment. And for me as a content creator, I kind of feel that even a bit more because I'm reading comments, I'm seeing sentiment in moments like this. But this is the journey of a value investor. This just is what it is. So I want to look at this chart really briefly, and then I want to go to the Solana chart and try and get kind of an idea potentially of where the bottom could be for altcoins. So here is the total crypto market cap chart. I just wanted to make a note of this because I think it's very important right now as we are consolidating. First off, 50-week moving average. Let's just see. It would be phenomenal if it holds. It could hold, but just note in the last 2 consolidations that we had, it did not hold, right? We kind of wicked below it. We fell below it. We closed candles below it. But what that is besides the 50-week moving average, we have really nice Fibonacci levels to watch for. So January 2024, consolidation, swing low to the swing high. It made a nice little run. Consolidation below the 50-week moving average in blue, but right to the Fibonacci. It's a higher low Fibonacci. And then from that swing low to the next swing high, here it is again, higher low Fibonacci. We fell below the 50-week moving average and into the higher low Fibonacci right there. Now, from that higher low Fibonacci back then, and to give you a sense, that was in April. That was the tariff fear capitulation to the pump that we had on this chart. Now we have another higher low Fibonacci down here below the 50-week moving average. It's in play. Be prepared for it. When we talk about it being tough for value investors, and even for me as a content creator, it obviously would get even tougher because the sentiment right now is already, it's literally the worst I've ever seen in all of my years doing crypto content since 2018. This is the worst that I've ever seen, everybody. And so we could fall to this area down here and it will get worse. But as a value investor, it will be normal. I will be here for it, and I'll be tracking the fundamentals of the macro landscape of things, macroeconomics, and what is going on there. What's the Fed doing? All of these different things. What's happening with the Clarity Act? But that's just the total crypto market cap chart. Let's zoom in a little bit. Again, not because I'm sitting here trading, but because I do find it interesting to try and identify, well, you know, we're just continually falling. When will this stop? Well, I noticed this on the Solana daily chart. This 20-day moving average is, you know, pretty fast approaching the 200-day moving average. The green falling below the red. And it doesn't happen often. But since 23 back here, it's happened 4 times. And so I thought it interesting because when it's happening, these are environments when things are bad, right? So we just kind of looked at the total crypto market cap chart, and it's like higher highs, higher lows. Well, check out what it looks like on an altcoin chart like Solana, right? And this is a visualization of why altcoin holders are very frustrated. Solana has literally been at the same price since 2024 of March, and it's there right now, right? Like, and it's just like wrapping around this area. But last time this happened, the 20 falling below the 200, it was around 41 days before the bottom was in. And then when it happened back here, and this was in the August 2024 consolidation, it was 18 days before the bottom was in. And then we can go back to like kind of exiting the bear market territories. It was literally like just a few days. The bottom was in when the moment happened. I mean, really the bottom was in, actually. It was just we kind of fell a little bit lower into the bottom wick. But the bottom was in at this time. But let's just say 3 days. And then right here was around 8 days from when the 20 fell below the 200. So the average of this is 17.5 days. What I want to note is it could be 0 days, right? Like we've seen. It could be more than 41 days. But the average of those is 17 and a half days. And we've not yet seen the move, right? The 20 has not fallen below the 200, but it's likely to happen pretty soon. But it gives you a sense of, man, we could be like, if we just kind of just slowly see this happen, and maybe we have a little bit more red, and then it happens, the bottom could be in on that day, like it was back there in the first time that we evaluated back here in 2023 of June. Or it could be a couple more weeks. It could be a few more weeks. It could be over 41 days, right? Which we've identified back here. I don't know what it will look like. But even if it was something like this, right? It's kind of like for a macro person, and that's my approach to these markets, it just is what it is. And you can see if it was going to be a little bit longer, it could be illustrated very nicely on this total crypto market cap chart that we kind of started with on the weekly. You could see this likely continuing to fall, things continuing to get worse. But how I started this video, pay attention to what is happening. Binance pushes Ethereum down. Wintermute absorbs the liquidity off exchange, Wintermute being the market maker. The goal is simple, make retail sell the bottom. And so these are the type of data points that people are sharing online while, look at this, Solana inflows on its new ETF. Looking pretty good. While we're getting very simple consolidation on Bitcoin, and we're taking maybe a step back, cooling off. This is just some of the data that I'm watching right now. As many of you know, as we zoom out on all of these charts, there's so many other things that play into kind of what markets are doing and what I think is going to happen next. But these are some indicators I wanted to point to your attention today as we continue to watch to see, man, how long is this going to last for? So I appreciate you watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, turn notifications on. And if you're not in our intelligence system, get back there, check out our risk models, go check out our exit planner. You can start just messing around, planning exits based off price mode speculation or risk mode. And we did just implement the text alerts. I will say it again. So if you are a member, go kind of activate your text alerts and get alerts sent to your text messages. Appreciate each and every one of you watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.